Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. We want to go ahead and get started. First, let me introduce you to who I am. My name is Dwight Hollins, and I'm the Supervisor of Athletics for the Cleveland Heights Universal School District. I personally like to thank you all for coming for this very important occasion, recognizing our young student athletes for their accomplishments and also recognizing the fact that they are moving on to bigger and better things. Mr. Ross isn't here. Wanted to introduce you to him. He has a meeting that he's attending. So we're going to go ahead on and move forward. As you know, this is National Signing Day, and this is the opportunity that most student athletes who are participating in high school sports look forward to. Some of these young men on stage I've known for a little while. Some of them I just met within the last 2 years, but I must say that I'm very proud of their accomplishments as well as you all as parents and friends. So let's give them a round of applause. I'm going to sit down because I know you guys don't really want to hear from me. So the order of the program is going to go this way. In a moment, I'm going to introduce a couple of coaches who are going to introduce each one of the student athletes, who will then have an opportunity to come before you all and thank mom, dad, whomever else for their support, and each individually will have an opportunity to announce the school that he is attending. But before going forward, I would like to introduce a couple of coaches that I know who are in attendance. Mr. Jeremy Holmes, if you could stand and just wave your hand. He's my basketball coach, boys basketball coach. They're off to a good start, and I want to thank him for coming out, showing support. And then the other two coaches, head coaches that I'm going to introduce shortly, that will introduce the rest of our student athletes. One of the things, though, that I think is very important that I'm going to continue to try to promote as long as I'm here, and that is the academic achievement that our student athletes have achieved this particular year and hopefully in the future. You need grades actually to get scholarships, right, to go to a college or a university. And one of the things that I'm most proud of this year is that our student athletes' past marking period for the athletic department had a 3.1 GPA. And yeah, I'm pretty happy about that because I remember days when the grades weren't that good. So again, they've worked hard. They need to be acknowledged for it. One of the reasons why they're able to sign today. You as parents need to be acknowledged because I'm sure you've been doing some things at home, right, to make sure they get them grades. And then our coaches also should be commended for the hard work that they have demonstrated as well. So without further ado, let me introduce to you our first coach is Pat Gleba. He is one of our assistant coaches for boys soccer. He's going to introduce one of our student athletes here. And then following him in that order would be Coach Mac Stevens. He's going to come in, he's going to introduce the rest of the student athletes. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Coach Gleba. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Pat Gleba, and I'm the boys soccer assistant coach. Today's a special day for these student athletes for two reasons. The first is that these athletes get to continue their athletic careers when most of us have to hang it up after high school. Second, most importantly, is that they're continuing their educational careers as well. I'm going to give you three numbers, and these three numbers are particular to this student athlete. The first number is the number 3, 41 and 14. And I'm going to explain those numbers to give you a better look at who this student athlete is. He came to Heights as a Benedictine transfer and only played 3 years with Heights. His first season, he was part of a back-strong line of defense. His second season, he was moved up to wing, where he contributed 23 goals and 10 assists, which produced an all Greater Cleveland honorable mention. This past season, his third season, he moved up again to our target, our number 9. To most of you, that's a forward. He contributed 18 more goals and 4 more assists. So let's revisit those 3 numbers. 3, the years he played for us. 41, his career goals in high school. And 14, his career assists in high school. Without further ado, Brandon Melnick.
How's everyone doing today? My name is Brandon Melnick. I came here as Coach said, out of my freshman year. I was at Benedictine. I played soccer there. Just wasn't the right fit. So then I came here to Heights, got used to playing with these different coaches and coaching staff and all the players, and it was a great change. I loved it. I enjoyed every second and every day that I had playing with my teammates on the soccer team and these coaches. I also want to thank my mom and my uncle for all that they've done for me. Without them, I would not be up here today. I also want to thank all my teachers for all the work that they've done and all that they've put up with me for all these years. And lastly, for the next 4 years, I'm going to further my education and my soccer career at Lake Erie College. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to recognize Brandon, who unexpectedly came out and helped us out in our kicking game this year with extra points and kickoffs. I want to thank the Heights administration, the athletic office, especially for the last several months. They see a parade of coaches coming in and out of the office, and I kind of take over talking to coaches and just making sure our kids get an opportunity to speak with some of these coaches. My coaching staff, some of the guys which are in the audience, for what the stipend pays them and the amount of hours that they commit to football, doesn't even match up, but they've done a phenomenal job. You know, most of my coaches, I don't know that I've talked to any of them about X's and O's prior to hiring those guys, but it was about just being able to love these guys that you see on the stage, and they've done a great job. Lastly, I have to recognize Coach Kahari Hicks, my offensive coordinator, who's been instrumental in helping us get through this recruiting process. Some of you parents know there's been some late night phone calls as late as 11 o'clock last night, but it's all about making sure our kids get an opportunity. So I'm thankful to Coach Hicks for all the work that he put in. 2 years ago, two years ago when I got hired as head coach, I sat down with some of these gentlemen in the old Heights High School in the basement in that dark locker room. I couldn't figure out how to turn the lights on. And one of the things I promised those young men was that if you just follow the blueprint and do what's asked of you socially and academically, and then take care of business athletically, you'll have an opportunity your senior year. And the young men that you see sitting here on the stage, these guys have put in the work and done some good things, and now they have an opportunity for future success. So want to congratulate these guys on all the hard work. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first player. His junior year, he and I didn't see eye to eye probably halfway through the season. He was starting. We made some changes, and he was upset. And I believe I talked with his mom, and she was upset. And I said, you know, he's going to be okay. We just got to get through this period. And to his credit, we make the playoffs against St. Ed's his junior year. And he made 2 key plays late in the game. And at that point, I knew he was going to go on to his senior year and do some pretty big things. He's actually our most improved player this year from his junior to senior year, Mr. Darrell Gaddis.
What's up with y'all? How y'all doing today? Gotta pull my speech up, I'm sorry. Man. Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank the man upstairs for everything he's done for me in my life up until this very moment today. Because at a young age, I was told the quote, that a man without God is a lost man. That really stuck to me as a person, and that's why I give all credit to the Lord himself, because I know I wouldn't be anything without him. I've dreamed about this very moment from the first time I took a field trip up to the whole high school in the 7th grade for the signing of the 2012 class. So just being up here and having the opportunity to play at the next level is just a blessing from the man above. And throughout this entire process, I feel like he has led me to the right decision for myself. But before I announce which school I'll be attending, I'd like to explain my high school football journey to get where I'm at today. My freshman year, I came in as a young and naive quarterback who thought he was just going to come in and be the starter hands down, but it really didn't work out like that. It actually went the complete opposite. From minicamp in the preseason, I could tell I wasn't favored to be the starter. But when Reggie left and went to Detroit, it was all on me to be the starter week 1. Although we lost, I realized I played a pretty good game. That showed me that I was leaning away from the quarterback position to do something elsewhere with my career. I didn't feel like I was a quarterback anymore. Second game, I was pulled out late in the second quarter for the rest of the game because of Strongsville's trainers claiming that I had a concussion, which I really didn't. Shakori came in the game and brought us back from down 14-0 to win 16-14. From that week to the end of the season, Shakori stayed at the starting quarterback. The rest of my freshman season, I really didn't have much success because I didn't play much after that point. One positive thing I can say I got from my freshman season was that I realized I was more of a defensive player. The end of my freshman season, I had a reality check to see if football was still for me or not. Mind you that I played quarterback my whole life up until the prior season when I got my spot taken. I thought to myself and came to the conclusion that I wasn't just a quarterback, but I'm a football player. I wasn't going to let me losing my spot last season stop me from having a good season the next year and to continue to chase my dreams. My sophomore year was very productive and was a good push to my career. I knew I was progressing because I went back to my old ways as an every week starter on JV up until week 6 when I started my first varsity game. That was my first varsity game ever as slot. I was an impact on varsity getting there first. their second win of that season, along with Jalen having 3 touchdowns in the first half, his game back. I finished the rest of my sophomore year as a varsity player and felt like I had a productive season. After sophomore year was when I faced another off-season issue, was when Roski resigned. I didn't know what to do, if I was going to leave or stay at Heights. I chose to stay, and it was one of the best decisions of my life, if I should say. That was when Coach Mack and his staff came in, and it was the second phase of my high school career. My junior year, I learned that you have to take advantage of certain opportunities because you don't always get second chances. In the Berea Mid-Park scrimmage, I had one of the worst performances of my life. That was when I lost my spot at strong safety. I had an up and down year in my junior season. I felt like I didn't play as much as I should have, but I also realized that there was no one else to blame but myself, and that the game of football is unforgiving. Next thing you know, it's my senior year, and my last ride is really here. I knew I had to go out with a bang. I visioned us having a historical undefeated season and ending up on top as state champions. We ended up being 6-4 and not even making the playoffs. But if you ask me, the team we had could have made some noise in the playoffs and been a state championship contender. But I had to move on because you can't live thinking about the what-ifs and things I could have and should have done. I can't think back into life because I know that's not the way I'm going. Looking back at my senior season, it put emphasis on a saying that I've known since I was little: talk is cheap. And that there is a big difference between talking about it and being about it. My high school football journey is now over, and I'm thankful for such a great 4-year experience of learning about myself and gaining greater knowledge on the game of football that I love. Next, I'd like to give my special thanks. I'd like to give thanks to all my family, friends, and loved ones for the emotional support I've received from you through the matter of this process. I'd also like to give thanks to the haters and the one who's doubted me in my life because up to this point, because y'all have been one of the main sources of motivation to make me do better and to prove y'all wrong about me. I'd like to give a few special shout outs to people I feel like I owe and would not be up here in front of you guys without. I'm sorry, somebody keeps calling me from an unknown number. I'd like to start with my favorite teacher, my 8th grade English teacher, Miss Robinson, the first teacher who I actually liked as more than just a teacher, someone I looked at as another mother. She was the one who got my head on straight and focused on school. I'll never forget what she told me by saying, when you get to high school, you need to just focus on books and ball. Tail will always be around. You're childish. I took that message and ran with it. Another shout out I'd like to give is to my other favorite teacher, Miss McCoy, for carrying on that role of being that teacher that stays on my back and making sure I'm doing the right thing in high school. Shout out to any and every coach I've had since I've been playing football from the age of 6, especially Coach Shaw from my Pop Warner days. One of the best coaches I've ever had in Coach Bigham. He used to work my tail off those days at the sports plant it was some days when I try to hurry up and finish my workout so I could slide before he got there. He worked and pushed me like that because he wanted nothing but greatness from me. I'd also like to thank Coach Mack. I've learned so much from being a better football player and a better man from him, being my coach these past couple of years. He doesn't just care about football, but developing young men, great young men, as well as, hold on. Oh, because he knows it's more to life after football. That's why he tries to prepare us for the real world. Heights would be foolish to let this man go because he develops great relationships with his players and young men of great class and character. Just look at me and the rest of the guys up here with me for prime examples. Speaking of the guys up here with me that I've been playing with, some since Pop Warner, some since middle school, and some since I've got to high school. I like to shout them out because they my brothers forever, and it's not gonna change. I like to shout out my little bros and my other brothers that aren't shining right now, that's in the stands, because y'all moment gonna be here sooner than y'all know it. Just watch. I like to shout out to my dad for being the sports figure in my life and introducing me to the world of sports and being supportive my whole life. But last but not least, I like to thank my backbone, my mom. She grinds, sacrifices, and does so much for me so I could be happy. She's my role model. She's my role model, my hero, my everything. I don't know. I know I don't tell you this enough, Mom, but I love you. And I won't stop grinding until you don't have to work anymore. You're my main source of motivation. After exploring all my options, this whole recruiting process, I'd like to thank every school that recruited me for the opportunity. But after praying over it every night and discussing it with my family, I feel that God has shown me the best option for myself to achieve what I have set for my life. Hold on, I got lost. To achieve what I have set for my life because I've put this whole situation in his hands and let him lead the way. I'm a different breed, so I feel that I have to take a different road to greatness by starting and building a new legacy. And with that being said, for the next 4 years of my life, I will be starting a new chapter. I'm sorry, I messed up. But for the next 4 years of my life, I will be continuing my athletic and academic career at Malone University.
All right, this next young man, when I first got hired, I wasn't even for sure if he was going to play football. Happened to see him in the hallway one day along with another coach and asked, who is this kid? And as I got to know him and just understand some of the things that were going on in his life and things that he was overcoming. Just had a little chat with him. Me and him took a drive one day, just asking, what are your goals? What do you want to do in life? What's your long-term goals? And one of the things he mentioned, he just said, Coach, I just want to escape this environment and go on and do some bigger and better things. So without further ado, Adrian Hardges.
How y'all doing today?
Can't hear you, man. Can't hear you. We can't hear you. Let's go, boy.
First off, I would like to thank my First off, I would like to thank God for bringing me here today and blessing me with the talent I have and the speed and size I have. I would like to thank my parents, my mother, my grandmother, for telling me to keep going, even though my situation wasn't that great to be in. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for my grandmother helping me out to get out of my situation that I was in. When I first got to Cleveland Heights, I met a friend, Devonte Simon and Aaron Bennett. I didn't have much, so his parents looked after me. His whole family was like my family. And I would like to thank his whole family, and I would like to thank him. I didn't have much, but I still kept a smile on my face. I didn't let my situation get over me, but I was still humble. I might hit some bumps on the way here, but I'm still here. I would like to thank everybody that stuck with me, all my teachers, all my players from middle school to high school. I would like to thank all my coaches that told me to keep pushing, keep doing what I have to do to make it to the next level. I would like to thank somebody very important to me, Coach Newton, for bringing me in and helping me out, knowing that I didn't have some of the stuff I needed or my situation was bad, but he still told me that I was still perfect and that I would be a better person than I am today. And I will be proud to say that I am attending Erie Community College for the next couple of years.
This next young man transferred into the Heights school system going into his junior year. Didn't know a whole lot about him coming in, but I heard he was a phenomenal athlete, and he came in and was our starting quarterback his junior year and just did some phenomenal things at times, winning games by himself. His senior year, we moved him to a couple of different positions. He excelled whatever position we put him at, and I'm just looking for great things from him in the future. Mr. Reggie Harris.
First of all, I want to thank God, Coach Mack, for giving me the chance to come into the team. My mother, my father, even though they can't be here today. So I want to thank my aunt Angie, my Uncle Boo, my Uncle Shane, my Aunt Ed for y'all basically raised me. Well, y'all know I couldn't, even though I had a place to sleep sometimes, got kicked out the house, in and out. Whatever, y'all know I was just a bad kid, man. It is what it is. But, man, oh yeah, I want to give a shout out to my cousins, Jashawn, Searight. You know, we done been through hell and back together. So, shoot. I don't really got too much to say, but if I do, I'm gonna be attending Erie Community College for the next 2 years.
This next young man didn't even know if he was going to come out and play his junior year. He decided to play, made a commitment to the weight room, worked hard. Just probably one of the more improved players going into his junior year. 8th play of our first game against Akron-Buchtel, he tore his ACL, MCL, PCL, all 3 major ligaments in his knee. Obviously missed the entire season, rehabbed, had to talk him into coming back out this past season. He didn't want to play, but he stuck it out and got through the rough parts of the summer. We couldn't even allow him to play until it was probably somewhere after the midpoint of the season. I think he only played in the last 2 or 3 games, but just a phenomenal young man, 4.0 student. One of the few guys on this stage whose financial aid package actually gives him more than what he actually needs to pay for school, Mr. Carl Henderson.
All right, so this journey of football has definitely been an interesting one. It has opened doors of opportunities that I did not expect. However, these were opportunities that I appreciate nevertheless. And I see no better way to show my gratitude than to thank those who have helped me throughout this journey. Of course, I want to thank my mom and my sister. This could not have been possible without them. I want to thank all of my coaches throughout the years. I want to thank my previous teachers, Ms. Korb and Ms. Harris, for all the advice And I want to thank my avid teachers, Ms. McCoy and Ms. Pompey, for all the support. And with that, I will be attending Oberlin College.
This next young man, his junior year, played a vital role in the last half of our season, helped us get into the playoffs, made some key plays in the playoff game. His senior year, we moved him, or played him a lot more on the defensive side of the ball. He's one of our linebackers, played tight end on offense. And I believe it was a scrimmage or first game, I don't even remember. He was pretty upset with me that at that particular moment, I had named him a captain. And, and after I thought about it, he rightfully should have been upset with me. But needless to say, he became a captain the rest of the season. And just a great example of what our underclassmen need to aspire to become, Mr. Jashawn Ingram.
Hey, how y'all doing today? First, I want to thank God for giving me the athletic abilities that I have to be able to go on and play at the collegiate level. I want to thank Coach Mack. My sophomore year, I was on the verge of quitting. I really didn't know if I was feeling it. But Coach Mack, he reached out to me, told me he can get me to college, and if somebody's saying that, you really, what else you gonna do? You only got one option. I want to thank my teachers, especially Ms. McCoy. I really think calling you my teacher is an understatement. You like my second mom. You took care of me in school, kept my head on straight, and I love you for that. I want to thank all my coaches sitting here. Y'all taught me to become a great young man, and not only in football, in life in general. I want to thank y'all. I want to thank my cousin, Reggie, Jalen, fam, sir, Bryan, all y'all. I love y'all, man. I love the journey. I love working with y'all. And, man, y'all my brothers forever, man. I want to thank my dad. Damn. Man, my dad, man, he a crazy dude, man. Yeah. Nah, for real though, I love you, Dad. I don't really say it too much, but I'm really blessed to have you in my life, man. I mean, not too many people got their father in their life, and you teaching me to be a great young man, and I appreciate you for that. I want to thank my family, my second family sitting over there, Auntie, Uncle Boo, all y'all. Shout out to y'all. Lastly, I really want to thank my mom. You really my heart, man. I do this for you, man. Without you, I don't know where I would be. I love you, Mom. Oh, snap. I want to thank my nephew, my little dude. That's my little man. I just want to be a role model to him. My niece, love her, little angel, what she want to be. I just thank this school. Being able to play for Hardges, it means a lot to me. Yeah. For the next 4 years, I'll be continuing my athletic and academic career at Lake Erie College.
This next young man, again, another bright young man. We are very fortunate within the Cleveland Heights football program to have quality young men, and this next young man is just another quality young man. Good GPA, academically sound. Started his senior year at a linebacker position, led our team in tackles, and he as well has a bright future, Mr. Bryan Matthews.
First, I gotta thank God, because I wouldn't have nothing without him. I gotta thank my coaches, Coach Jay, Coach Wiley, Coach Newton, Coach Latt, all y'all. I gotta thank my mom, my dad, my grandma. I gotta thank Grandma Leroy's, Grandma Betty, because I wouldn't have a lot of things I got now without my Grandma Leroy's, man. I gotta thank my teammates, the fam, Jashawn, Ken, all y'all, Sir, Quinton, J-Rock, Darrell, Adrian. I gotta thank my best friend, my twin, my brother. I think it's Bruce, baby. Oh man. I gotta thank my dad, because every time I messed up, he threw me in the weight room, get to working out. So I gotta thank my dad, my moms, and for the next 4 years, I'll be going to Notre Dame College to play football. You feel me?
Again, this next young man, just a quality all-around young man. He does it socially, academically, and obviously athletically. Good GPA, had a lot of different options, played fullback on offense at times, played linebacker on defense. His senior year, we kind of moved him around, and he did it unselfishly. Mr. Ken Roye.
How you all doing? Whew. I'm trying not to cry like the rest of them. But first and foremost, I want to thank God for blessing me with the opportunity to stand here in front of everybody right now. I would like to thank my mom, my dad, and my grandparents for shaping me into the young man that I am today. I would like to thank my coaching staff. I was blessed to have a coaching staff that taught me just as much about life and being a man as they taught me the X's and O's. I'd like to shout out my second mother out there, Miss McCoy. I dreamed about standing up on this stage on signing day ever since I started playing football, and now that I'm actually standing here, it feels amazing. To put a smile on my mother and grandmother faces and to hear them say they're proud of me means everything to me. The recruiting process has been long and exasperating, and I'm actually happy that the whole thing is over. But just as one chapter of my life is ending, the next chapter is beginning. God has blessed me with a great opportunity, and now it is my job to capitalize. Just like any other football player, I still have aspirations of making it to the NFL, but I also know that's not guaranteed, and there is life after football. Therefore, I have made my decision not only for football, y'all childish. Where was I? Not only for football, but based on what school I feel is the perfect match for me and will best prepare me for the real world life that comes after school. With that being said, I'm beyond blessed to announce that I will be continuing my academic and athletic careers at the University of Mount Union. Y'all childish.
So this next young man, I think I was in Cincinnati at my son's spring football game, and all of a sudden I got a couple calls from a couple reporters that said, Coach, how do you feel? I'm like, what are you talking about? And they said, well, you got a quarterback that just transferred in from West G. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know. And later on got a chance to talk to Cam and his parents, and you know, when it was confirmed that he and his younger brother Brandon were actually transferring into the Heights system, you know, all of a sudden it changed the dynamics of our offense. He's a special talent, can really sling the ball, dual threat quarterback, and he too had a few options on the table. But without further ado, Mr. Cam Searight.
What's up, everybody? My name is Cameron Searight. Most of you guys know me as Cam. I transferred here last year. I used to go to St. Ed's my freshman year. Didn't really like it that much. Then transferred to West G that year, and had 2 great seasons there. Won a lot of awards and different things like that. And then I transferred here because, you know, I met Coach Mack and some of the other guys like Devonte, Adrian, and all those other guys, and I thought this would be a good fit. So I moved here with my family, and ever since then, it's been the best decision I've ever made. First off, I want to thank God, because without him, none of this would be possible. Second of all, I want to thank my family, my mom, dad, grandma, Brandon. I see you over there trying to hide. And my girlfriend, Shay, right there next to my mom and dad. I'm thankful for all of you guys. I love you guys so much. Second, I want to thank all the coaches from this year. Coach Mack, Coach Drake, Coach Hicks, everybody. Coach Wadley, everybody over there. You see everybody over here, so. With that, I'll be furthering my education and academic career at Lake Erie College.
So this next young man, I think one of the things that I'm most impressed about was not necessarily his athletic ability, but he is truly a young man of faith, and he's not afraid to share that with you. He and I have had some serious conversations over the last 2 years where he would just kind of lean on me for some advice with different situations. He's had some ups and downs in terms of football with injuries and just, you know, and unfortunately for him, he was playing a position that we were just loaded at. But to his credit, he stuck it out and he came back his senior year and contributed as best he can. Mr. Devonte Simon.
My name is Devonte Simon. Most importantly, I want to thank God for being up here today. Most importantly, I want to thank my teachers in the school, because without that, I really wouldn't have been able to go to college. I want to thank my brother. I just want to thank my brother. I mean, the first day I met him, we clicked on since, and we just been like family. Sorry, just give me 1 second. I love you, man. I want to thank my teachers, my case managers, Ms. Green, Mr. Z, Mr. Williams, Mr. Dixon, for all the, you know, the things that I called you trying to get into college, all the paperwork. I want to thank my family, most importantly, my sisters, my supporters, my parents. Y'all sacrificed a lot for me. You know, it was times we could have went on vacations, but y'all sacrificed for me just to play football, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I thank the Searight family. They've been my family ever since I started playing football. I thank my brother Cam for coming, having the opportunity, even though we ain't play a lot, but I'm still grateful every day because we had a lot of fun. I pray for my big brother, my mentor. I just thank God for everything he taught me to be able, not just to be a football player, but to be a man. And to be up here today, it means the world to me. I want to thank my sister, my twin. Every day you got me out that bed, I did not want to come. I just thank God for you, because I know everything I do ain't right, and I know sometimes you my everything. I listen to everything you tell me every single day. You told me to be here, and no matter what I've been through, you told me I was gonna be up here, and I love you, Bree. Most importantly, I thank my coach. I remember the first day when I had to move. And I remember the day he sat in my driveway and we talked. And he said, I can't guarantee you a spot, but I know if you work your butt off, you can get whatever you want, and I get you into college. And I love you, Coach, for that, because he kept his word. And no matter what I've been through, I remember when I first broke my foot, and I said, Coach, I'm not physically there yet. And he didn't ask me no questions. All he said is, Devonte, I understand. Pray about it. And I thank God for that, for having a coach and somebody in my corner like that, because that means the world to me. Most importantly, I thank my team for having my team. You know, it was just an amazing experience, and I'm grateful, and I'm just lost for words, but I know that, I promise y'all, on the next level, y'all gonna hear about me, and I'm gonna make all y'all proud. I love you, Tamaja. For the next 4 years, I'm gonna be attending Hiram College, and I'm gonna be focusing on business management.
So this next young man, he didn't even play for us his junior year. I happened to see him playing basketball, and I was like, wow, what an athletic young man. But football wasn't in the cards. His senior year, he decided to play, and to be quite honest, was one of the best players on the field every Friday night. But I remember during practice one day, he got his first offer. I believe it was from Shaw University. And he was I'm walking by the locker room, you just hear this screaming and this, all these sounds out of the locker room. And then later on in the parking lot, he's jumping up and down. But he was just so happy and excited because I'm not so sure he knew that he would be afforded some of the opportunities that were presented to him at the time. But just ended up doing everything that was asked, one of our hardest workers in practice every day, and he showed up on Friday night, Mr. Sir Summers.
How y'all doing today? First and foremost, I want to thank God for giving me this talent and ability to play every sport. Not trying to be confident and like that. One thing, my family and friends, also Coach Mack for supporting me. They've been encouraging me. I didn't want to play last year because I just wasn't really messing with it. But then Coach Mack and Coach Hicks put me through it, helped me and encouraged me. So took the opportunity, did what I had to do. I had a lot of opportunities that I think I wasn't gonna have for real. I just want to say I'm blessed and I'm thankful. And I have made my decision, and I'll be continuing my education and football career at college. At Erie Community College.
All right. This next young man, going into his junior year, didn't know a whole lot about him. We put him at the center position, and wasn't quite sure if he was actually ready to be a starter at the time. But he had no choice. He had to get ready. He worked hard. Played a whole half a season. I didn't even know he had an older brother on the team at the time. And then he comes back his senior year, again, just one of our more steady players, and again, just always led by example, Mr. Quinton Watts.
Thanks. Whew. I'm gonna try not to cry. First, I want to thank God for making this possible. And I want to thank my mom and my dad for all the support. I want to thank y'all for giving me all this good advice and sticking by my side, and for never giving up on me when times get rough. And y'all were always there to support me. And y'all was always at my games, and I appreciate that so much. And I love the both of y'all so much. And I also want to thank my grandparents for always being there for me and giving me everything I needed when I needed it. And these 4 years of high school went by fast. I remember being a freshman like it was yesterday. But the journey was fun. There were some tough times. And I also want to thank all my coaches from Pee Wee to high school. Y'all impacted my life. And y'all ain't just teach me about football. Y'all taught me so many things about life and how to become a man. They were like another father figure to me. And I want to thank all y'all. And I will be taking my talents and further my education to Muskingum University. Couldn't get a hat, I couldn't fit it.
So, last but not least, I don't even know what to say that hasn't already been said about this young man. I've watched him play basketball and football for a long time. Never thought I'd be coaching him. But you know, one of the things that was just so impressive the last 2 years was to see the humility and how he handled himself. There were coaches from all over the country constantly calling, inquiring about this young man. And you know, I made a statement not too long ago to a reporter that I wasn't so sure that many of his teammates even knew what schools were recruiting him, because he never made it about himself. It was always about his brothers and making sure some of that light that was shining on him was shining on them as well. And I remember earlier this past football season, we were just talking about the recruiting process and who was coming into the school, and I just tried to stay out the way and not interfere too much. But the one thing I told him, because he is such an unselfish person, was I said, you know what? This is one time in your life you're allowed to be selfish. You're allowed to make this decision based on what's best for you. And don't make it this decision based on what's best for anybody else, because it's your 4 years that you got to live. And in his typical fashion, all he said was, I got you, Coach. And, ended up having a great season, double and triple teamed every single play. We wish we could have thrown him the ball 10 or 15 times a game, but it just wasn't in the cards all the time. But he just worked his tail off. One of the hardest working high school players I've ever been around outside of the season. I know even right now during the basketball season, he drives across town to the west side to get ready for his college years. And that says a lot about him. But the last thing I'll say, going into the season, I know myself and Coach Hicks one day was talking to him, and I know he thought we were going to talk to him about football. And we put a challenge towards him, and we said, you know what, academically, you got to step it up. And he does well academically, but not as well as I knew he could do. And I think after that first grading period or first semester, he had, I believe it was straight A's or close to straight A's, despite dealing with phone calls and text messages and emails around the clock every single day. So without further ado, Mr. Jalen Harris.
How y'all doing today? First off, I just want to thank God just for blessing me with multiple great opportunities and putting my family and I in the position to be successful. This has been a long process. Like Coach Mack said, it was always about my teammates. It was never about me. So I kind of knew where I was going throughout this whole process, but I kind of held it off so my teammates could get recruited. But I just want to thank mainly my family, coaches, my trainer, my teammates, teachers for just supporting me and motivating me throughout this process. I want to give a big shout out to Miss McCoy. That's my mom's, man. That's my second mom's away from the house. She keep me on the right path, and I know she got my back through whatever, wrong or right. I want to thank my mom and dad. They my heart, man. Everything I do for y'all, I just want to make y'all proud on a daily basis, man. Thank Coach Mack, Coach Smith. I was with them majority of the time throughout practice and workouts. But I also want to give a big shout out to Coach Biggs. He's the DB coach, so you feel me? I go against them every day in practice, and they the reason why I'm the player I am today. But most of y'all may know, but for the people who don't, for the next few years, will be attending The Ohio State University. Go Bucks.
I just want to say first, I'm gonna get on you, Coach Mack. I'm not the only one forgetting names up here, but I'm 58. What's your excuse? I would be remiss if I did not recognize one other person in the audience. Miss Martha Pugsley, would you please stand up so everyone know who you are? She's my administrative assistant, and without her, this wasn't possible. So I want to thank her for everything she does in the athletic department. To our young athletes, at this moment, I'm going to ask you to pick up your pens, open up your folders, and sign your letter of intent. Ladies and gentlemen, this will conclude our program for the day. Thank you all for coming. God bless.